This is Jennibellie. She has a perfectly normal relationship with paper things, especially books and journals. All perfectly normal and stuff.
Sticking the sticky notes onto the third journal. This third journal is definitely my favourite one, so make sure you stick around in order to see this one. It is journal 3, so I shouldn't be showing you that yet. Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing art journal flips, or rather flips of my everyday journaling, which I call daily rituals. This form of journaling I have done for over a decade, and I recently started sharing flips, little shorts or reels, whatever you want to call them, of these journals individually. And I asked on YouTube, I did a poll and asked, would you prefer to see them as shorts, or would you prefer to see them as longer videos, or would you prefer to see them both? The overwhelming response was both ways. So if you'd just like to see the art, or maybe in the future you want to come back for some inspiration, then head into the shorts section and you will see these journals, the art in these journals, flipped through in a quick hit. In this video we're going to go into it more thoroughly. I'll share with you a few more pages and I'm going to talk about them. This video I'm going to do the first 3, and in some of the videos I may do 5, 6, however many together, because some of them I spent a lot more time making art, and other ones I spent less time in these journals making art and making art elsewhere, or not making as much art, whatever. And obviously I'm only going to share with you the art out of I'm not going to share with you the writing. Now, for a long time, maybe 7+ years, I have said I'm going to do a free class on the daily ritual process, and I have hundreds of videos, I'm not even kidding, of different processes. Different videos for that class. A lot of them are edited, a lot of them are in limbo, they're all over the place, and it's going to take me a while to get them together. My plan is to have the class done by the time I've finished all these flips of about 45 at the moment that I'm talking. Journals, 46 maybe, 47 maybe journals, and I'll just do these flips sporadically in between my other videos. So let's get on the table. Now, if you like this video and you'd like more from me, please do me a favour and leave me a comment, let me know that, or send me a like, whatever. I would very much appreciate it, because the algorithm is not my best friend, so I would very much appreciate any support that you have to show me, to say, Jennibellie, please keep making videos. I would really like it if you made videos. And let YouTube know that as well. When I started this practice with this first journal that says morning pages on it, because that was the practice that I first started with, which was morning pages. Now, I'd already been doing morning pages in journals like this for a long time, for years. These cloth A5 in size journals. This isn't one of my old journals, this is just what I had on hand, which was, this is my yoga journal. But these fabric covered journals were what I used to use for my regular, what I called my regular morning pages journals. Then when I switched over to these B5 exercise books, which is what these are, I mixed the combo of morning pages, which if you don't know what it is, it's the idea of scribbling out 3, brain dumping basically, 3 pages every day, every morning, before you do anything else, from Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. Combining that with an art journaling practice. So my formula, loose formula, was 3 pages of writing to 1 page of art. Now, what I will do is go through and mark off these pages and cover up my writing, because I don't know what I wrote and I don't want to offend anybody, or for anybody to read my innermost thoughts, or make it easier for me to flip through and ignore the writing. And although I've got hundreds of videos and tools and all kinds of things to sort out for presumably one day a daily rituals class that isn't ready yet, So if you want the nearest best thing I have to this, I do have a free 7-day journal journey. It's a class on journal workshops which is answering the question that I get asked all the time is how do you write? How do you journal? I've taught art journaling for many years, but this is the accompaniment to that, which is the written journaling. And every day through those 7 days, we go through a different kind of journaling technique. There's also a little bit of art in there and just more exploration of this 3-in-1 formula that I have for doing a daily rituals practice. If you want a class, there's that. It's a pay what you want class, but it's starting at free. I've put the counter down to 000, okay? So that anyone can take it, because I do get asked all the time, how do you write so much in your journals? They don't know where to start, or they don't feel like it's just doing anything, how they're doing it, etc. So to start there if you want to do a daily art and journaling practice. Sticky notes, sticky notes, sticky notes. Okay, I think I've done them all. That looks so silly. So I'm going to zoom in, because my plan was to just show you the one side and not have to put paper on the other side, because I don't know what I've written a decade ago. Let's get some scrap. I might just have to do that to cover up whatever writing I've got. Okay, I'll go with a gel print. That's prettier, isn't it? This is actually quite a nice piece. I like it in itself. Yummy. Okay, so in these earlier journals I will be showing you just this side, because generally I did just keep to the one side. I started with an art piece on this one so that I could do 3 pages, 1, 2, 3, and then art B on this side again. I was a bit of a stickler for it in the beginning. I'm not anymore. Now I can go months without doing any art in my daily rituals pages, or just doing art in my daily rituals pages. It's a complete mash-up how I use my pages, and a lot of the time I will do both pages as well, not just the one. But back then when I started, it's a good practice to keep up, is something to get into a routine of, and so that's what I did. And this says 19th of July 2014, start of my 15 minutes a day pages. Quite happy, so that's quite self-explanatory. And I often would do art and writing together, you know, like keeping a little log of what I was doing. This one I've included because I want to show you that although this isn't something that would end up in, say, the shorts that I've done of the flip throughs, I wanted to include it here so that you can see this is a working journal. And sometimes pages aren't going to be finished, or nothing is going to happen on them, or you might have intentions for it and then you do something else. Whatever, it's a working practice, so it means that nothing needs to be completed, nothing needs to be rounded off, or it's experimental. So this has just got some gesso on the back, and then I think I was creating some sprays, and that's all that is. And I've shown you just to kind of tell you that there's nothing perfect about the daily rituals practice, nothing at all. A lot of the time I would just use pen, the pen I was writing with, to do the artwork, because again I was initially just trying to do that 15-minute practice of just getting some art down. As we go through the journal you'll see sometimes I ended up spending a lot longer on it, but like with here, not a lot. This is just acrylic, done fairly quickly. Just some brush strokes, some dobs and some triangles. This one is a pen, the pen that I was obviously writing with again, that I used, and then just some coloured pencil. Kind of a mandala, but again just a very quick, making sure that I had some art in that day. This is collage, so all done with just cutting out shapes and then doing these stamping on it. And there is quite a mix of materials that I used, especially in the early years. This is acrylic, pen again, mixing the writing with the art. This one I kind of love. He's so colourful. He is so colourful. I love him. I love him. Oh, he's got like a dog hair or something that's a decade old in there. In his face. That will be Sweepy Bum's hair. I think this was from a picture, but I did this one. Acrylic and some pencil, I think, on top for reindeer there. Acrylic. I think this was done in the monthly challenge group because I can remember something about these being the prompts. You can see stamps, paint, doodles. Can't read that one. Ephemera, does that say? I can't remember. But I obviously used the actual prompts as collage in the painting. There's some stamping here going off. So yeah, obviously that's from that prompt. But yeah, I seem to remember this coming from a monthly challenge. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's a free group on my art journaling community, journal workshops, where every month we get an art date together. And I give away classes every month there as well. A bit of Picasso inspiration. Oh, and I've showed you this because I do a lot of smashbooking in my everyday journals. And I can't always, because I write alongside it, I can't always share with you, so I've just put this in to remind myself to tell you that that is a huge part of my everyday journaling. Because if I go to a new coffee shop or a new town and buy some clothes, or you get like clothes tags or things like that. Let me show you my current journal, maybe. So here's my current journal. I've done clothes tags and things in the front. But this is my last journal. I'm just going to show you how I'll include, obviously I bought some Neo colours here, and this chair includes the comfiest chair in the world. This is the comfiest chair, I swear, ever. It's like it's made of clouds and it just moulds to your body. And you may be like, well, why are you keeping this leaflet with this? Well, I had a wonderful day going to the shop and sitting in that chair, and I've got lovely memories of it. It's very meaningful, and it's on my wish list, that chair. Well, a few of those chairs, but they're £2,000 a piece. So for now, I'm just going to keep that in my journal as something to have one day. So this is more, I don't know, Monet inspired, I suppose. Not really inspired by anybody, but just... there is something I love about the early days of my journaling in these, doing the art in these. This had a very strange like watercolour paint in the background, and sometimes I did create a substrate underneath, which is what I was talking about. Something that I really loved in these early journals, and I'll show you. I'll have done it somewhere in here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But obviously I didn't in this one, and it just bleeds through and allows the pen from underneath to show through. I don't mind that. It's perfectly fine for me. But just as a warning, if not, you want to create a substrate, and I know that I did that. That's obviously from this picky over here of this little chap. Just pen when nothing else, and again kind of doing it around something that I was feeling then. I don't know what this is. But it's perfectly fine to put I don't know what this is things in your everyday journal. That's part and parcel of it. I think this is done with a fork actually, you know, like a plastic fork, just raking it through. Okay, now we get into what I was talking about. Here I've clearly made a substrate on the page so that it's nice and thick. Oh, I don't think I did, because I can see the lines through. I think what I did on this one was stuck 2 pages together to a... Yes, I did. You can just see the line of the other one underneath. Now, I've very rarely done that in my journals because I like to use all my paper. So instead I generally make a substrate, which I did on this one. Yep. Hear the difference? So just by making a substrate, I definitely have done a video or 2 on that in the Daily Rituals class, stuff that I've done already, because I just love making really thick canvases in your journal to then create from. It's like more of that fork work. Definitely don't like the effect of it. Again, I'm incorporating this just to show you the nothingness that some of your pages can be, because you never know what is going to be the start of something. You never know what is going to develop or be a technique you are going to use in the future. So explore everything. Don't feel like anything for its own sake has to be finished. It's just part of a bigger puzzle. I think this is the last one in this journal. I really don't like this colour combo, but now I know I don't like neons together and splashy weirdness going on. Ooh. Ooh, it's weird reading some of it. I've just spent a couple of minutes rereading something. It's very weird to reread it. So that's journal 1, and these journals, as I've said, are B5 exercise books, and I hoard them by the bucket load. Oh no, I just dropped one. I just dropped one behind the back of the thing. Great. But there are stacks here, and it goes right the way back past those 2 units and doubled up. Yeah, I love these journals.
This is Jenny Belly. She has a perfectly normal relationship with paper things.
These ones are from a company that has now disappeared in the UK called Paper Chase, but I found a couple that do very similar, which is this one, which is Ligami, and this one, haha, which is Pucker. I've literally got them both right here. After showing you my smashing of things, but you can see things like fitting and, you know, things like that. This was just a page marker for my planning. I do planning in these, so this is what these little tabs are. It's a link back to my planning. Yeah, so this is from Easter this year, and I shouldn't be showing you this because this is like one for the future, but this is sometimes how you can smash a book, by keeping things together that you don't necessarily want, you know, to stick in individual. Like, I didn't want to stick in this and then miss, my friend had wrote notes all over it, so I didn't want to miss what she'd written. And then this is just bits that I did from an Easter egg hunt for the kiddies in my family, you know, stuff like that. So you can keep things like this in bags that you put cards in, or stuff arrives to, this is recycled from something that arrived. Kept flowers, pressed flowers in my journal that way, in little plastic bags to preserve them. So I do not have the Daily Rituals course ready yet. What I do have is hundreds of videos that I have made over like a decade, because over that 10 years I have done so many processes, so many different kinds of things in my Daily Rituals journal, and sometimes it was constructed very well for a video, you know, or for a lesson or part of the class, and then other times it was just like literally, oh, I just stumbled across this, let me just turn on the camera and film. And so I've got so much footage that it's incredibly overwhelming. So yeah, that class, although I've intended to create it and have been creating it, let's be fair, for 10 years, I haven't got a... Am I recording this? No, I'm not. Oh no! I've got to do all that again. Oh, pants. Managed to find one. Anyway, what I was saying was there's so much stuff for that it's overwhelming. I don't know where to start with it. But if you want a class that I've already got in art, in mixed media, in making books, making journals with meaning, such as my minuteness class, my remedies junk journal class, my creative goal journaling class, my raw intuitive journaling class, the rinse and repeat class, goodness, the wisdom journal class. There's a lot of classes. Anyway, for Black Friday, just for this weekend, they're 55% off. The links are below. And I decided on 55% because I like rounder numbers, and it's more off for you guys than 50%. So 55% off any class that you want on journal workshops. And there is a whole bunch. Sunday cards class, all the classes. Poster journal class, the creative resistance remedy class. Anyway, there's a lot. Go and have a look. Now let's get on to the second Daily Rituals journal. This feels beautiful, and there is something that I absolutely love about painting the full page in these pages and then writing on the reverse. It is just so yummy. This one was from where you do that smushing thing. You know, you put a bit of paint blob down, you push it together, open it out, and then you draw something from it. This one, I was clearly feeling something about what I was writing, and so painted over it and then kind of did this through the mouth to kind of say, silence myself a little bit. That's what I feel from it, looking at it now. Can't quite remember. But that's the impression I get. Look at that. Absolutely no point doing that. I don't know what my thoughts were to do after this. There must have been something, but again, you don't want to go back to something, you don't have to. Just using my pen, and my pens that I like to use in my Daily Rituals journals are just biros, coloured biros, although I have learnt to not use pink. If you use pink and purples, they bleed through the page after all of the years have gone by. You can maybe see in the background of this one. Some of them worse than others. This isn't too bad actually, but sometimes, especially if the journal's gotten a little bit damp with media, the pen really does show its way through to the other side, to the point where the two pages merge so you can't read them. So even now in my, see, I've used the pink biro I was writing with on the art here, because these were just from a project I was doing. These were little scraps, so they just ended up in here as a start of something. So I still use coloured biros now, but I avoid the pink and the purple colours. You can see it here. Can you see the pink in the background of this one? Totally bled through. Which again, I don't mind, but when it gets to the point where you can't read or see your artwork, or you can't read your words, then I don't like it. This is just coloured pencil. These were art sticks, something a friend from America sent me over. So I was just having a play when they arrived. I have no idea if I had an idea where this was going or not, but an unfinished page. I remember in the shorts that I did of this particular flip mentioning, this was the trigger for me to mention, you can leave things unfinished and it's fine. This, I was so happy with this. It might not look like much, but I was so happy with it because it was a media, and I can't even tell you what media it is now, I'd have to go find it again. But it was a dry media, it was a pastels that I was playing with around the edge, and then I whooshed them into the middle with a damp tissue or something. and it gave this beautiful watercolour effect, and I'm like, I'm going to use that. And I probably did use it in something, but yeah, I can't remember what media it is now. Some kind of pastel, I'm pretty sure, because pastels are water soluble. So I've not covered that over. I was playing a game with somebody and crossing off the matches. Just doing a sketch of some birds, and then that turned into this. Did that turn into a picture? I can't remember if this was a sketch or something else. These are pastels, some kind of, I can't remember quite what they were, but they were really chunky, I remember, because they were quite difficult to do any precision with, so I figured out with them to do something either on a larger scale or more abstract with them. This is just acrylic, and then maybe those art sticks actually. I can see something dark here. I don't think it's water soluble. Just paint and just some watered down acrylic of this for the cheeks, but just this one colour of acrylic. And there's that colour combination again of neons that I haven't figured out I don't like yet, clearly. Ooh, I missed out something to sticky note here, but you can clearly see the pink through it here and the damage it does to the other side of the page. So again, this is just a drawing with the biro I was using. And anytime I kind of do this, you'll see they're all kind of these little mini portraits. Very textured, this page. It's not like got any big glumps of anything on it, but it's a tactile page. This is one of my pictures that I sandpapered actually to try and take the glossiness off of it. I don't like pictures that are glossy. I prefer matte pictures, but even so, matte pictures are still pretty glossy. So I don't often use pictures in my art. I tend to use them for smashbooking. So again, when I keep all of my receipts for things and ticket stubs and stuff like that, you'll maybe see some pictures going alongside it just for the memories of it. But this one obviously took the colours out of this doorway in this brick and developed them across here with some nice like textures. So here again, I often do, you can see in the background I've just done another little drawing in amongst my writing, and that is something that I do a lot as well. Again, they tend to be more of these self-portrait images, combining the art with the writing. Again, sometimes it's a reminder that I do. You don't need to say yes to everything. These were testing out some new pencils, I believe, some metallic pencils. I really did like them. I don't know what paint colour I used on this, but I love this green. Wish I knew which one that was. And that's something to learn, is to maybe write down the materials that you've used on something. So I do really like it. I can tell what the pink is and I can tell what the powder blue colours are, but the peach and the neon, I'm not so sure. So here's another one of those self-portraits of me as a superhero. I was feeling good that day, obviously, and just using those metallic pencils in it. I think there was only a couple of them in the pack, only like a pack of a few, so that's why there's only a couple of details on it, and a highlighter, and that was it. So very minimal stuff. A lot of these pages are done with. Okay, journal 3. As I said at the beginning, this, as I went through, is definitely my favourite journal. The covers, I should just know, I just do what I want on the covers. Some of these ones, such as this one, came in packs, duplicate packs, such as this one. So they were slightly different, but the same. And then, as I said, I'm a hoarder of these things, so I would have several packs that had the same patterns on. So sometimes I would just do something on the background, or maybe I'd leave it and then put something on the front. But I have identified the majority of my daily rituals journals. I need to go through. There's some of the latter ones, such as this one that hasn't got anything going on yet. I ended up with a lot of the same patterns, and to be honest, sometimes this is the most I can be bothered to do. Depends how I'm feeling when I come to finish it off and cover it up. And sometimes I add things to the spine just by tying it on. This was a charm somebody sent me that says create every day, but it's the inside that matters. So generally I'm not going to lie, I have bought some, particularly in the recent years with this brand Legami, that are really pretty. I'll show you some. I have unicorns. These are some more of the pucker. I have a couple of these ones that say full of magic. The pucker ones come in a set of 3 like this, which is how these old ones came. If you can't find these particular ones, the nearest things to them are composition books. This one I love, it's reflective. Oh my gosh, I've got a couple of those ones as well. Here, look, I still have some of the old packs. I had to get this one when I saw it. I'm not perfect, but my cat loves me. And I know, it's a bit indulgent, because these are some of the paper chase ones that I haven't yet used. These ones used to be £4. There's a good price really for them even now. Pucker calls them composition books. Here, look, composition books. And Pucker, if you get them direct from the website, are really cheap. They are really cheap. But the paper is 80 GSM versus the Legami, which are $100 GSM, and the difference is ridiculous. These ones are really nice. These ones feel cheap. I'll be honest, they feel cheap inside. However, I like it because when you add paint and gesso and water solubles and things to this, they get so crinkly. I've got a bunch more but I can't reach them. I wasn't intending to do a show and tell of my stash. Oh god, that's heavy. Oh, journals, I know I'm just going to be asked about it. However, you can start with any. The reason I go for the exercise books is because they're not precious. You can do whatever the heck you want in them, and you're not going to begrudge yourself in any way. And that creates so much more creativity. There is so many ways I've gone through. I'll show you one here. Like, this is a written page, but it's got lots of art and smashing and things going in it, you know, so it allows for that freedom. What I really look for with my daily rituals journals though is it has to be sewn. It has to be sewn. I do not do staples ever, so it has to be a book that's properly bound. And it will only, sometimes they'll only last a month. Here you can see this one's the 30th of December 2014 to 27th of Jan. Sometimes I number them, sometimes I don't. I've gotten out of the habit in the recent journals when I've put the cover on. 27th of Jan 2015. So this was less than a month, this journal. Sometimes they take a month, sometimes they take 6 months. It really depends on how I am journaling at that time. So let's get into it. I think this one's so cute. It's clearly done with water-soluble pencils, watercolour pencils. I really like this background, and the paper has gone crinkly. Oh, I did the same thing there where I stuck two pages together, look. I generally haven't done this at all the last decade. It was obviously just something I did in the beginning. So a double page that's kind of a mix between art and writing. And you can see the same things happened here. I'm using my pink and purple pens that are bleeding through, because you can see in the background what I did on the page opposite. New Art pencils, so that's clearly just trying that out on the page where I was already writing. This is a mix of acrylic and pastels. Clearly a design I was doing for painting a bag. I was obviously enjoying doing birds. Does that say Game of Stress? Definitely doesn't say Game of Thrones, because I was never into that. Game of something. Yeah, I was clearly into the painting of, or drawing of, birds and owls and stuff. Kind of loving this colour combo, so I think I meant this kind of like ruby-ish red, kind of an aubergine purpley red, and the blue, or maybe I'm meaning the blue and the yellow. Don't know. On some form of ephemera in the background. I think it's just recycling, to be honest. Because it's talking about something about Christmas and sales rooms being open since 1977. Okay, fair enough. Sometimes I just use whatever's there, whatever's about. Which reminds me, my aunt had a big stack of knitting patterns, which I need to get off my mother, because she's been hiding them from me, because she knows if I see them I will start pilchering them. Facing down a migraine. It's got some stamping in the background, and clearly just a very quick. I'm surprised, because nowadays I can't create when I've got a migraine. Yeah, my aunt gave them to my mum to send to the charity shop, and the charity shop wouldn't take them, but my mum wouldn't tell me that she had them, because she knew I would take them. She didn't want me to hoard any more. She clearly thinks I'm a hoarder or something. I kind of like this colour, very bright. Handbags Journal, Humble Beginnings. I don't know what that means anymore. I might have to read this. It was clearly a project I was working on at the time. Just relaxing with the page. I do love the colours in this page. The oranges and the ochres. Very, very charming. And the graphite. There's something very charming about the page. And this has some ephemera in the background. I can see it's a Jungle Book. The Jungle Book page from a book in the background, and stamped with one of the one of these date stamps. I used to do that a lot more than I do nowadays. I had to even buy a new stamp because my old stamp is my old stamp. I thought I still had it somewhere, but I was shocked at how it had run out because they last for so many years. This one is going to last until 2037. Oh no, 2034. It's like pencil, though it's a bit smudgy, whatever that is. I think it's mainly pencil and water solubles, but it's a bit smudgy. Oh no, this might have been graphitint. That might have been the graphitint, I remember. Using something a bit more water soluble on this one. Oh, can you guess who this is? Obviously a quick doodle of my Pop Sweepy Bum. And over here, on here it says Lovin' Derwent pens. So these were obviously the Derwent paint pens that came out. I have to say, after my initial play with them, which was clearly this, I hated them. They splashed everywhere. I'll show. This drawer is my drawer of markers I do not like. They were this. They used to be this. They're now called something else. I can't remember what they call them. Paint liners or paint markers, I don't know. But they used to be called this. And I haven't bought any of the newer ones because they just used to start splodging everywhere. So I keep a few just to actually just whack the page with, you know, to get some splashes. But if you want detailed work, they're not what I would go for. They might be improved now, but back then they used to splatter when you would do something. But obviously when I first got them, I enjoyed them. Or maybe that was the first sign of the first splatter. Just reading. I've got journaling going on here, so I was just reading the journaling. Yeah, I kind of love how I made these little, I guess the frames, with collage behind and then a drawing on top, or a painting on top, whatever. And somehow I would just create these borders around. So I've got triangles around here. This one I just did lines and circles, and this one I did these little oblongs. Didn't do them on all of them, but it's clearly a theme I started and I just like it. This one doesn't have any. But it has all of these arrows coming up from the bottom. I guess that's not a border, but it's defining the bottom in a way that you don't initially see when you look at it, I don't think. New supplies. Any new supplies again? I think I bought too many supplies back in the day. This is my water pot. It was a Powerpuff Girls water pot. I still have it. I still use it. I now tend to use a more professional one, let's say. Yeah, still use my little Powerpuff Girls water cup. I've got so many layers of paint caked on it, it's unbelievable. Excuse me, hiccups, don't come a knocking now. I really like the colours that are going on around the backdrop of these pears. It really makes the colour of the pears pop. Evening ritual. Acrylic and markers and acrylic markers. Enjoying my current media mixers. There's clearly some pencil in here as well. Washi tape, stamping. Clearly a little bit of Jane Austen inspired maybe. I really love the touch of copper I used in these trees. There's silver in the clouds, but the copper in the trees is just kind of yum. Oh, this one. I remember I really liked how I got the skin translucent so you could see the background. And I remember just, I don't know why I put in this little fly. She just looked pretty miserable about something, so I think I put in a fly buzzing around her, like annoying her. I don't know what this is about, if this was going to turn into something else, or was I just testing out new paints? I don't know, I can't remember. I don't think so. I wouldn't normally swatch paints like this, but I don't know. Again, you can see the pink pen coming through. You can clearly see that pink used to be one of my favourite colour pens. I'm very disappointed that I can't use it anymore. Oh, last one. A can of Coke. So bad, but so good. This was a time when I was addicted to Coke. I'm very good now. I'm very good with my health, very good with my diet. I'm whole food plant-based. I don't have the sugars like this, although I do have golden syrup in porridge. However, the cans of Coke every day are gone. Maybe have one Coke a year, if that. Maybe one Coke every 2 years, or maybe half a Coke every 2 years. I never fully drank it. But I used to drink it every day, every single day. Plus several coffees that were this big, full of sugar as well. Crazy to think now. But yeah, I was definitely addicted to the Coca-Cola. So that's your lot. That's your look at these 3 journals.